Something just shook the rap world, and it's not some fake beef or a diss track for clicks. This is heavier, an uncovered chapter from Papoose's past that's sending shockwaves through the culture. It's not about Remy Ma, not about loyalty in the usual sense. It's about a hidden link stretching back to before Papoose had a crown, before love and hip-hop fame, before the Black Love image. We're talking about street secrets, sealed court files, and a name nobody ever thought would be tied to him. Until now. And the wild part? This came from someone close to him. Not out of hate, but out of fear. If what's being revealed is true, Papoose may be connected to one of the most powerful and silent figures in East Coast rap history, a name the industry whispers about but never says aloud. This isn't just gossip. It's the first shot in a war, and the opening blow came from the past. Before Papoose was a mixtape legend, before holding Remy down during her prison time, there was another story, a darker one. It began long before the cameras, long before alphabetical slaughter, back in mid-90s Brownsville, Brooklyn, where survival meant keeping quiet, and one wrong move could ruin your life. A young Shame Lamaki, quiet, observant, was already moving in circles where power mattered more than music. People in the know said he was being groomed, not by a label, but by a man called Uncle Larry. Not family, but respected like one. Larry wasn't flashy, no chains, no club appearances, but rumor was he funded much of the local underground, rappers, radio connections, and he lived by one rule: loyalty above all. Break it, and you vanished or got framed. Papoose, still a teen, was one of the few Larry trusted, not for muscle, but for his mind. Larry didn't want shooters, he wanted strategists. In 1996, when a major bust hit Larry's operation, Shamela's name reportedly appeared in the files, but he was booked and released the same night. No charges, no press, sealed records. Like it never happened. That was until last week, when a muffled voice note started popping up in private chats and Reddit threads. A man claiming to be one of Larry's former soldiers said, "Papoose ain't just a rapper, he's loyal, to power. He never left the game, he just changed uniforms." The message ended with a grainy black and white photo of a teenage Pap beside a federal now in the spotlight. Loyalty, when used as a mask, can hide anything. And people are starting to wonder if Pap has been wearing one all along. Remy Ma's silence has been loud. When Nicki came for her, she dropped Sheather. When blogs dragged her, she went live. Now, nothing. Sources say she and Pap have been arguing behind the scenes, and he recently skipped a public event without explanation. Fans are torn. Some defend him, others say the industry always builds legends just to dig up dirt later. But what if this dirt was never buried? What if Pap's image, his music, his loyalty, his love story, was built on a deal he made as a kid with no way out? Sometimes, survival means making choices you can't ever take back. Uncle Larry was the Brooklyn boogeyman, not because of violence, but because of power. He could make a rapper a star or erase them before they dropped their first track. After nearly 30 years, he's been spotted again. Not in New York, but in Atlanta. It started with a blurry party photo, posted by a promoter who didn't know who he'd captured. The comments identified him: bald head, scar by his temple, diamond horseshoe pinky ring. Industry veterans began whispering, "Larry's back." And if he's back, it's not for peace. That's when the Pap rumors exploded. Was he still connected? Had Larry secretly backed his recent ventures? Was Pap protecting someone? A private investigator claimed he followed Larry in Atlanta, watching him meet two men in a black SUV linked to a property in Newark, New Jersey, an address tied to a recording studio owned by Pap's cousin. Days later, the studio was broken into. Nothing was taken except one hard drive. Someone was cleaning house. Remy stayed silent, but a friend tweeted and quickly deleted, "Loyalty ain't loyalty if you lied about where it started." Now fans wonder, did Remy know the truth about Pap's past? Or was she in the dark like everyone else? The paranoia deepened with a leaked call, 90% verified as Pap, saying, "I did what I had to do back then. I ain't proud of it, but if he's back, we all in trouble." That's no lyric. That's a confession. Now people don't know whether to stand by him or fear him. Because if Uncle Larry's back, the truth will surface, and debts will be called in. And with Larry, every dollar came with interest, adding up. People who worked with Pap in his early days recall him vanishing for weeks, even during key promo runs. One radio DJ swears Pap canceled a Funk Flex freestyle last minute for a family emergency, only to be spotted later near a well-known stash house. The biggest theory now? Larry isn't back for nostalgia, he's back to collect. And the missing hard drive from Pap's cousin's studio? Rumor says it holds more than music. Names, locations, videos, all filed under something chilling: insurance.pap. If Pap ever hands that over, the streets could explode. This is no longer just about him. It's about everyone who profited from his rise. Producers, engineers, even executives who may have unknowingly worked with a man backed by a ghost. If those files surface, there could be RICO charges, quiet arrests, people flipping on each other to survive. And right in the middle is a man who built a career on loyalty, now facing whispers that loyalty was a cover. As of tonight, Uncle Larry's face just appeared in leaked JFK airport surveillance footage. He's back in New York, and this time, he's not hiding. Then came the shock no one expected. Not from her. Remy Ma, the ride or die, the woman who once said she'd take a bullet for Papoose, just did the unthinkable. She turned. No live stream, no diss track, just paperwork. A single leaked document from a media lawyer showed her signature. Reminisce Mackey. It was a formal legal separation. Not divorce. Not yet. But loud in its silence. 3 sentences stood out. I was unaware of the details surrounding my husband's early affiliations. I did not consent to being part of a narrative tied to federal activity. For the protection of my brand, child, and business ventures, I am distancing myself immediately. It hit the blogs like a bomb. Fans were stunned, some heartbroken, others asking if she'd known all along. Behind the scenes, things were messier. The tension had been building for months. Secret meetings, strange men watching from the corners at events, unanswered calls. And then there was the night she confronted Pap about the hard drive. A source who overheard the fight said she yelled, "Why didn't you just tell me what was on it?" Pap's reply was 5 words. "I was protecting you, Rem." But it was too late. The drive was gone. Worse, a backup was found in a locker rented under Pap's real name. Pap had a past, but because their entire future was built on a lie. For years, they'd sold the image of unbreakable love, hosted panels, mentored couples, and held themselves up as the gold standard. But that video changed everything. Pap had told the world he was self-made, but now it was clear. He was built piece by piece by a man who vanished, then returned to collect. Remy wasn't going down with him, especially with federal eyes watching. Pap has gone silent. No posts, no shows, nothing. Meanwhile, rumors swirl that a major streaming service is negotiating a docuseries, not with him, but with Remy. Her side of the story, her pain, her survival, her betrayal. She's ready to share how she found letters hidden in a safe, how Pap's studio runs never added up, how once she saw a man follow them home, and Pap told her, "Don't look back." She's telling the truth he never wanted out, and in doing so, she's becoming the hero of her own story, and the villain in his. Online, the shift has been brutal. Fans delete old posts supporting him. Clips of him preaching loyalty are being turned into memes. One video asking, "Was he loyal or just afraid?" hit 2 million views in a day. Remy hasn't spoken publicly, but the message is clear. She's done protecting him. And maybe now, she's protecting herself. Because with Larry back in New York, the feds circling, and that hard drive floating somewhere in the shadows, no one is safe. Not Pap, not Remy, not anyone who thought they were just watching from the sidelines. This isn't rap anymore. This is survival. A sealed past is cracking open. The shadow figure is back. The hard drive holds the truth. And the woman who once stood beside him now stands against him. This isn't just about Papoose. It's about the cost of silence, the price of loyalty, and the moment a legacy starts to crumble. Not from beef, not from enemies, from truth. And the wildest part? We still might not know everything. If Larry is truly back in the city, and Remy is preparing to speak on camera, then what we've seen is only the first chapter. If that footage leaks in full, everything changes. So here's the question. Was Papoose a victim of the streets or a soldier who never left the game? Was Remy right to walk away,